What's up, fam? Rev Gens. It's that time. Video phase 3. Today we're going to talk about negotiation. It is the third phase of the man sales system. Negotiation is kind of an odd thing. Most people do not negotiate properly. Negotiation happens in every single sale, even if it is very small and a minuscule step. It may not even happen interpersonally. It may happen completely in the person you're selling's head. That is when you have what we call a laydown. They've already negotiated with themselves in their mind and said, we're buying this. We accept. Perfect. Awesome. That's the best. That's not going to happen all the time. Even the best salespeople do not create a laydown every time. Your pitch should be designed to create the laydown, because that's an automatic yes. That is if your pitch is absolutely the best it can be or as efficient as possible. I can help you with that. Subscribe below. We're going to go over how to develop a pitch, all those things. But today we're talking about negotiation, the third step. After you have been maneuvered in the right spot, you have adapted the pitch, you found their pain point. Now you're getting into the pricing and what the actual solution is going to do, how we are going to get the payment, how we're going to negotiate the terms of the deal. The terms of the deal are almost as important as what the price is and what its function is. How do they pay for it? And what does it cost? Why I say that is to say this. Negotiation can be the easiest thing in the world or the most awkward and painful. A lot of people do not know how to negotiate at all, and that's where you get the pushy salesman. You get the robot who just repeats the same things. You can get negative reviews. You can get a lot of bad things can happen in a negotiation if you as the salesperson aren't in control, aren't paying attention, and don't know exactly what you're doing. There's no need to screw this up because it's very simple. All it is, as I mentioned in a previous video, is the value that they have for money or their money versus the value of the product or service. That's it. Period. That's all it is. And that's a moving scale because their money is going to be stationary. Money is going to be, well, we always like to say that's the middle, that's neutral. You know, $2,000 is $2,000, period. Now, they might think it's a lot, but your job as the sales professional is to bring down that expectation of their money and increase the value that you're talking about. And when that happens, the sale. If you're even, 50-50, they might sell it if you got great terms, something like that. If the value is lower and their money's higher, they'll never buy it because their money is worth more than whatever you're talking about. So the negotiation is to help those people that get stuck into this spot. They're dead even. Okay. This is the customer that I'm going to explain next. This is the example that you're going to see. And it's the person that goes, yeah, I see your point. Makes a lot of sense. I just feel like it's a little more than I expected. Or, wow, it's a lot more than I expected. Or, I can see that. Really important thing. Always say this. No matter what you sell. I always button up every single price presentation when I go through the numbers with them. I button it up the same way. I said, do you see the value in what we're doing? Does that make sense to you? Doesn't matter what it is. Solar, insurance, home improvements. I sold somebody a fridge one time. Do you see the value in what we're doing? Does that make sense? If they say yes right then and there, then you know that scale is about even. Their money and what they're buying are close in value. So that means you have an opportunity to make a sale. If they look at you and go, no fucking way, no way, this is never going to be worth that, or no, I'd never buy this, or that's crazy, then you know you're way off in your scale. You have either a lot more work to do or you need to get out of there because it's not worth talking to this person. They're not going to buy it because they don't see the value in it. So once you hit them with that, you see the value of what we're doing, especially at this amount, always pick a higher amount. That's the next big tip when you're negotiating. Remember this. You can always start higher and work your way down. It is very hard to start low and work your way back up. Can be done. Very situational. I don't recommend that for a new person. It's much, much harder to get through. If you're an expert, then normally it's not that hard because you're very comfortable. You can just tell them, hey, you wanted this extra option. It does cost more. The price was $10,000. With this option, it's going to be $12,000. Okay? You have to be able to deliver that with absolute certainty and comfort because that could drop the pitch for, that could drop the deal because now you're out of their comfort zone again. So always remember that. But that's what we're negotiating to. So say you and the person, you're about even, the price is what it is. We'll say it's $2,000. And they kind of hem and they haul, I don't know. Okay, no problem. Break down the objection backwards. So when I say backwards, you already know $2,000, I'm writing this down just so I can keep it straight. $2,000 is too much money for them. They don't see the value. The money is greater than the $2,000 of the price tag. So now you have to figure out why that is. How do we do that? We ask a series of questions. The easiest way to do this, and this is for a physical product, but it will work for service, same exact way. Say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I understand completely. You always want to agree and deflect. Think of it like rapids. You're going down a mountain and you're water rafting. You're not going to stop the river. You're going to divert the river. You can't stop it. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to be getting hurt. You want to agree? Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I agree. That is a lot of money. Perfect. But, and sometimes what I always like to say is you can even ask them point blank depending on your rapport. If not, I go into a series of questions that kind of look like this. Normally most of my clients say, it's too much money. There's a couple reasons for that. Two big ones, really. Number one, they're interested, but they're not sure. Or number two, they're just not interested. And I figured because I'm here, it's probably the first one, right? You're interested, but you're not sure. The people are going to say something silly. Yeah, I guess obviously I'm interested. I want to know more about the product. I just didn't know it was going to be that much money. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. If they say that, you are 3/4 of the way home for your negotiation. Because what you want to set up is you want to tweak the project, the scale. Think of it like little dials on a radio. We're going to change the scale. We're going to change the materials. We're going to change what we're doing. We're going to change something to make that price fit. And you can do that with any product, literally anything. I had a guy who was talking to me about Porsche Panameras. There are 5 versions of that car, and they all cost a different amount. So if he wants, the most loaded one, then he needs to understand that price is going to be the highest. Well, I want the most shit for the cheapest price. Well, then we're going to go with the base model because that's the most you can get at the lowest price. Ta-da. So then you ask him, what aren't you sure about? Is it the company? Do we sound like the kind of folks you'd want to do business with? Well, yeah, you're fine. Does the products make sense? And they have to say yes to this because they picked the product during the pitch. And it could be anything. Like I said, it could be a car, it could be insurance. Did this guaranteed life not make sense to you? That's the one that we discussed would fit you best, right? Did the company make sense? We only picked 5-star rated carriers or, whatever. They picked it. Doesn't matter. Next, after you ask them about the company, you ask them about the product. Big number 3. What is number 3? Number 3 is the wild card. Ask them if you, as the salesperson, is it me? Did I do something to offend you or, upset you? Because if I did, I apologize. Oh no, you're great. It's always gonna be that. Oh, you're great. I've only had one guy in 10,000 appointments say, yeah, I thought you were a dickhead. And I was like, cool. I appreciate you telling me that now. Buy my product. And ultimately he did, which was really weird. But I basically just told the guy, if you think I'm a dickhead, then why did you let me talk for an hour? Why did we go through this? If you didn't like me, I said at the beginning, I'll leave. Well, I'm interested. It's the weirdest thing I ever had. The last thing. So I guess it's the price, huh? That's the only thing that's left. You, the product, the items that they picked, the terms of service. If you sell something with a payment, it's a perfect time to say, is XYZ a month not comfortable for you? I don't want something that's going to take, food out of your mouth or whatever. Doesn't matter. There's a million avenues you can go down, but you now funneled them back to the price. This is old school, like 1980s sales technique, but it still works today. because price is something you can control because you can alter the product. You can alter the service. They don't need all the bells and whistles. All we are doing is negotiating down to that so we can figure out where they're comfortable at. So for example, if we get all this said and done, the guy, the person, whoever it is, they say, look, they're buying a car. I'm comfortable at $400 a month. Well, then your job as the salesperson is to find them a car that fits into that $400 or less that meets their needs. Period. That's all it is. And it can be a lot less. It might only be $200 a month and you look like a hero. It doesn't matter as long as whatever the product is fits the need and hits their pain points. So what? They came in looking at brand new minivans, but they don't want to spend 60 grand. Well, then they're looking at used minivans or they're looking at a used SUV. That's absolutely no problem, but you have to figure that out and then place them where it fits accordingly. Very simple. That is a broad overview of negotiation. Subscribe below. Send me a DM or get a consultation call. I'll go into it in more details, more specifics to your industry, various ways you can go through that questionnaire, how you can figure out what the negotiation points are for your industry, and ultimately make more sales, more money, and a better life. Get out there and sell something.